Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this session of Total War Saga, Troy, given to me courtesy of Creators Assembly. This is a preview, this is a game still in development, and I am limited in time. This is basically a series of 3 videos, 90 minutes total. We've already used an hour, got 30 minutes left. In that time, I want to fight another battle. So we're going to go ahead and end turn real quick, and then we're going to move on to Sithara and attack it. Now I know from having tried this previously that there's a garrison there and it's a pretty big one, so it should be a pretty interesting battle. We have mustered the troops. This gives us food and bronze. Laying the foundations, we've built a building, gives us food and stone. Upgrade a settlement. Developing a settlement increases the number of buildings that may be constructed within it. Expanding your facilities in this way will greatly improve your ability to defend your borders at home and wage war abroad. Alright. Ain't got time for that. We gotta go fight stuff. Although I am going to spend some money and just repair the port to get the boat stand. So again, we can leave this place if it's ever besieged if we need to. And we're going to sail on down towards Sithara. Now, one thing I do want to just take a moment to say, and I'm a little bit disappointed by this, no naval battles. Like, this is such an amazing map for naval battles. It is the Aegean. There's loads of water, there's loads of islands, there's loads of provinces out at sea. There's no naval battles. It seems like such a missed opportunity. I really hope they add that as like DLC or something in the future. Otherwise, the battles, if you do fight them at sea, it's basically done like Vampire Coast, where they fight on a tiny little island which magically appears. A little bit disappointed by that. I just wanted to say that. Right, you are going to arrive soon. I'm going to go and build, if I can afford it. No, did someone take it? Someone took it. Sods. Melos. We're going to go and build Melos. Rumour has it that female creatures with a strange reputation inhabit this place. They might become formidable allies if we make it worth their while. So Melos is apparently home to, I would assume, Harpies or Sirens, which are one of the unique units. These are mythical creatures given a more realistic slant. So I don't know exactly what strengths these are going to have. Are they going to show up in the building browser, perhaps? Menelaus is sworn fighters. That's like our regular ability. Harpy Lookout, here we go. Unit capacity +2 Harpies, which will allow us to recruit up to 2 Harpies. I wonder if that's per army or total. I imagine it's total. Interesting that they have unit capacity, I like that. So Harpies, they are experts in hiding, decent melee combatant, and they are light units. They have Strider, which means they ignore speed penalties. They can stalk, and they have a improved flank attack, which means that they are very, very good at like harassment attacks. They do a ton of damage, 125. Decent amount of hit points. Interesting. And then they upgrade to Harpy Fiends, which are master ambushers. They get even more bonuses. Vanguard, hide in shrub and forest, Strider, snipers, which means they remain hidden while shooting. Stalkers and flank attack. They have a range of what? These are just javelin throwers, so their range is 115. It's not terrible. So they will actually be able to make use of their sniper capabilities. Does that give access to anything else? No. But anyway, that is a completely stumbled across this, but a very good example of one of the things I'm really excited about Troy, where different regions allow you to unlock different units and different troop types. Also, last episode I did promise to touch on agents. So there are a couple of agents which are available. Envoys, which are like your diplomats from previous games like Rome, I think had them. Attila certainly did. And Medieval. Spies. And then priestesses. And then, most interesting to me, they've introduced epic agents. These are ones which are very, very limited in how many of them you can recruit. And they have very, very powerful abilities. One of them being the Gorgon, which is basically these are one-shot heroes. They're kind of like the master engineers, the master warplock engineers. I think that's what they were called, the Skaven guys, where you basically send them off, do a mission, and then they're gone. So this one causes terror. It basically massively demoralizes an enemy army or city before you attack it. The Satyr increases, I would assume, happiness and influence. And I don't know if this is a one-shot. The Gorgon certainly is. And then the Seer, which does series stuff. And we can see their abilities here on the left. Reduces movement range of armies in this region. Damages the garrison severely. Reduces morale, battle speed, and campaign movement. Range of targeted army. Then the Satyr. Increased growth and happiness of local province. Instantly completes all started constructions in target settlement. Reduces enemy morale. And then the Seer, which provides experience each turn for heroes and agents in local region. Does a divine errand, which I think gives you favour with the gods. And maximum favour is gained with the god presiding over that settlement's temple and the Seer is removed. Interesting. Gods. That's another thing we should look at. Divine will. So this is an overview of the different gods. So we've got Hera, Zeus, Aries, Apollo, Athena, Poseidon, and Aphrodite. Each of them have 4 tiers of prestige, basically. So at neglected, there's no downsides, there's no upsides. Respected, they will give you some bonuses. Celebrated, and then finally worshipped is the final tier. So if we take Hera as an example, then we get at level 1, so respected, we would get 20% additional damage for all slingers. We gain 7% reduction to unit cost with territories with over 50% influence. At flourishing, which is tier 2, celebrated, construction time of all main buildings reduced, wood construction cost reduced, and we gain growth in all high influence settlements. And then level 3 is Divine Protection, which gives us a 10% casualty replenishment rate for all armies, unlocks the recruitment of Corybantis, and gives a 30% morale buff to all units in own territory. And each of the gods will have their own modifiers. I'm just going to hover over. You can always pause the video and check those out for yourself. And then we also have a couple of options down here, the Hecatomb and the Prayer. We can click on one of these different gods and the outcomes will actually change. So if we take a look at Aries, now there's one of these, Athena, your spear. Athena, you're the one that we want to look at. We can offer up a prayer to Athena, which will cost us 20 gold and 400 food, and it will increase the recruitment rank for all units faction-wide. Or we can do the Hecatomb, which is like a once in a number of turns ability. It's like a rite from Warhammer. It will cost us 500 food, and it will increase the favour by 70, which will bump her up above respected. We'll go ahead and build one. So Athena is now the protector of cities, giving us 40% additional morale for spear units, and also reducing the fatigue in battle for all units while defending. Unfortunately, we're going to be attacking, so she's more defensive. Ares is more offensive, but we do have spearmen, and we have a fair number of them. Unfortunately, we cannot offer up a prayer because we don't have the food supply for it. Our food income has quite dramatically reduced because we've recruited a lot more units. Our temples and rituals have pleased the gods. The omens clearly show their favour. 100 bulls for the glory of Athena. 100 signs or obsessions. Obedient, whatever. Okay, we are going to go and attack Sithara. Why can't I land? Oh, because we only just arrived here. Should have really done the Hecatomb next turn. No matter. Alright, next turn. We're going to go and attack Sithara. Oh, there's no army here. Oh, last time was the garrison and an army, and it was a really tough fight. Huh, interesting. So, Athena is with us, giving us morale and the fatigue reduction, although we're not defending. We have a fairly high balance of power in our favour. They have got a champion, so shielded. This is one of the duelist guys. Militia, club and shields, Young spears, which are two-handed spearmen, but without armour, so they're not going to be as strong as our spearmen. So they might do more damage. Attack 18, attack 26. Yeah, they do. Melee defense 59. Oh no, our melee attack is actually better. No, it's not. 18. Melee defense. I think I saw something else. I saw yours, didn't I? Yes, I did. So 18 attack, 38 defense, 28 defense, damage 78, damage 78. So the damage output is the same, they just have better attack. And then 3 units of Achaean slingers, which we will need to chase down with our more speedy units. Alright, let's fight it. So, this is another battlefield. So we've got some nice shrubland on our flank. And then also this bluff on the left flank, which will protect our side. So I think what we're going to try and do is hide our speedy units over here. We'll have just a solid line of spearmen in the front. Now we have high morale, so I feel like we can get away with long, thin formations, which may end up fighting additional units. We'll put our slingers here on the side where they're going to be properly protected by this. And then I'm going to leave my axemen in reserve back here, just in case they do try to flank around. And then Menelaus can come up here in the front. He does encourage, I think. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Well, he has the aura, which I think does increase morale. Plus, he's got his buffs and his debuffs. In fact, you know what? Let's put you a little bit further forwards. Okay. I like it. Begin. So, our enemies are positioned over here. They are not going to march towards us because we are the attacker. So, we are unfortunately going to have to leave our defensive position. Now, one query. Can you guys hide in shrubbery? You can. So let's put you guys on the left flank now, along with you. Then we'll have the spearmen advancing to just within range. We'll put the slings on the right flank now, and we'll put the axemen on the right flank. So basically everyone is shifting position. Alright, let's do this. Okay, spearmen are pulling into position. Slingers are as well. Who has the longer range? We're the same. We're both Achaean slingers. Okay, that's fine. So what I think I'm going to do here... It's very annoying that I can't hide... Oh, there's a little village in here. That's actually a pretty natural defensive position. Nice. Yeah, you know what? The maps in this remind me a lot of the Thrones of Britannia maps. There just seems to be a lot more going on in them. Like, I like the architecture, I like the little bits and bobs which are just around. There's a lot more, like, world building going on. There's just more character to each of the maps, which I really like. Alright, so the shrubs. I'm really annoyed that you two can't hide in the shrubs. But you can. So what we could try to do is get you into the shrub and then get you as close as possible before we kind of alert these guys that we're coming. Then we're going to have you guys forming in just behind the spearmen, and we're just going to advance as a line once they're hidden. And we'll bring the axes around the flank. We'll start them moving now, because they've got a long way to go. So what I'm going to try and do is hit these slingers with the light spear runners, and then these two slingers with the Laconian militia. And then just get the rest of their close combat units with my spearmen. One-on-one, we should win.
Spears! At your command!
Switch to spears, please. Will increase the amount of damage you do. Okay, so you guys are now nice and hidden in the shrubs.
Spears!
And now I'm going to begin my spearman advance with Menelaus
For Sparta!
to about there.
As you say. Of course. Axes! Slings prepared! Ready to serve!
And I put in a little bit of a delay for when the slingers start to advance, because I want to make sure that the enemy is well and truly shooting at my spearmen, because they have shields and armor. Slingers don't. So these guys should be much better able to take the ranged fire. Then what I'm hoping to do is get into range and then start shooting them with my own slingers. Because if we manage to do that and do sufficient damage at a distance...
Your hero is under attack.
Our light units can actually be left to fight more interesting stuff. Like do flank attacks and stuff like that. In fact, do you guys have flank bonus? 200 melee. Right, we can actually see the difference. They do plus 10 weapon damage, plus 20% speed. Oh, you're even faster when you're not using a shield. Oh, that's interesting. I really like this unit. This light spear runner is awesome. Armor piercing damage goes up, melee attack goes up, charge goes up, melee defense goes down, missile parry goes down. However, you have rear shield defense, which means your shields being on your back protect you from rear attacks, I think. Which is kind of interesting. A trait I don't think I've ever seen again in a game like this. So like Pavese crossbows in medieval with the Pavese on the back would give them rear defense. That'd be kind of cool. 200 melee, rear shield, flank defense improved, flank attack improved. There you go. Oh, and they can stalk. That I hadn't realised. Interesting. Okay, carry on. So it does indeed look like my slingers are doing a significant amount of damage to their slingers. We are taking a few casualties among the spearmen, but nothing compared to what they are. So I think that ultimately this was a good decision to just sit back and ping away. Also gives my slingers a bit of experience. Putting a couple of units into guard mode, particularly the archers. So if, for example, when this unit started to run away, they started to try and chase them. Not letting them do that anymore. Okay, their slingers have recovered already. That was pretty quick and a bit annoying, but never mind. So I think once we've forced this unit back, we're going to do another advance en masse. What I really want to try and do is get Conoros into a fight with my Axemen, because you're pretty heavily armoured. I feel like the Axemen are going to be the best unit to fight them. I definitely don't want Conoros to be fighting Menelaus. Menelaus would lose. I mean, he probably would win eventually, but he would take a bucket load of damage in the process. Not worth it. Alright, time to advance.
Moving up. Awaiting orders. Slings. We obey. Spears. Axes. As ordered. At once. So be it. As ordered. Spears. Without question.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you...
Without remorse, willingly, in
them.
Aries' name. Making it happen. Axes, slings prepare.
Okay, we did it. So that sling unit at the back is running.
Close enough to taste.
Oh, this was this was a good engagement, crikey.
Trained and ready.
A little bit of preparation goes a long way. Because my slingers absolutely decimated theirs, and then our close combat experts got into killing distance. And now because these things are like cavalry, they're so quick. And they have the extra damage bonuses, we can just run everything down. Fantastic. Now large numbers of their units are starting to run. So I'm going to put the spearmen no longer in guard mode, so they will actually support these attacks.
Death from afar. Agreed. Menelaus. Agreed. We will. We obey.
This was incredibly decisive.
Sparta's war.
Very nice. Very nice. So it's just their boss man, Conoros, who's left. But he's in the midst of a whole bunch of... Oh no, he's running.
For the Achaeans.
Now this was me attacking their city, so this is over. A decisive victory, you are victorious! The corpses of enemy litter the ground, and those still able to flee do so with the laughter of our gods ringing in their ears. Marvellous. So we lost only 82 troops, they lost 160... No, they have 165 remaining. Yeah, I'd say that was pretty decisive. I really like those animations. They're cool. So we gained a bunch of experience, we gained food, and we gained gold. I wonder if our experience gain went up because it was decisive. I don't remember getting experience in like a chunk like that before. I have not had a decisive victory like this before either. Interesting. And we're going to go and occupy.
Very good.
Very good indeed.
Your heroic deeds have earned you the blessings of Aries. Through your actions you gain greater experience, and thus the means to develop your skills further. It only remains to choose the manner of such development.
Heroes and agents gain experience as they fight or act. Sufficient experience makes them level up. Leveling up grants a skill point. Skill points can be spent unlocking skills. Skills grant passive bonuses on new abilities. Alright. And we've now secured Lastamon. Now, is there... Yes, there are. Edicts Commandments. Here we go. So we can get Palace Administration, which will reduce the construction cost of all buildings. Recruitment cost reduced for all armies. Increased happiness and increased growth. Reduced success chance of enemy actions. Reduced action cost for our own agents. And recruit rank for our agents. And then 5% additional resources. I think I'm going to go with the construction cost. This is still super early in the game. And I think that that would be a big boon. All the boat stands already built. Your garrison needs to recuperate. Alright, so we have duplicate muster fields, which don't add us anything, so we're going to go ahead and delete that. And then Sithara is basically going to be free to invest in wood production. Yeah, wood production. And Etis could do food or happiness. Right now my wood production is a lot better than my food production, so I'm thinking that Sithara might be the food place. So we've got conquest reduction, so it's basically minus 18, so we're effectively at plus 3. That's mostly because of the military presence. Happiness plus 2, happiness plus 1. Okay, so each of these buildings is providing happiness as well. So the fact that we own the entire province actually means that this this region, is completely secure. Okay. What else can we do? have our missions, factions, provinces, heroes and agents. Ah, Menelaus is leveled up again. Here we go.
Menelaus of Sparta.
So, let's take a look. So we need to make a choice between Heavy Weapon and the Way of Athena. So Athena gives more melee defense for this hero and increases the hit points. Whereas the Heavy Weapon would increase his armor piercing damage even further. So Assault and Battery plus Heavy Weapon equals lots of damage. So if we wanted to turn him into more of a frontline fighty hero, we could do that. But I'm going to stick with the Way of Athena. We're going to make him more defensive, particularly because of the War God's Call. He's going to shout at somebody, make them attack him, and then tank. Also, the other thing is every tier that we level up gains us 2% hit points. Ah, we can also make a choice here. So we could come in with the melee debuff. I do like that idea. And I'm guessing that this is an either or. Or can we reduce their missile resistance and their attack resistance? This would increase melee defense even further, though only by 2 points. Fatigue reduction to all units in the hero's army. 20% missile damage to all units in the army. Oof, that's a hard choice. But for this one, we're definitely going Way of Athena. Okay. Right, one other thing I wanted to take a look at, because I haven't actually seen this yet. Let's see what it takes and what the options are if we recruit a new hero. So heroes in this are lords. They're the people who lead your armies. This does have the supply network or supply chain, which means that every army you recruit does cost more upkeep. Each additional hero recruited will increase the total army upkeep by 1% bronze and 30% food, which will increase the upkeep just by recruiting this guy of food by 331. Not that we could afford it anyway. They would cost us 1,300 effectively to recruit somebody to recruit somebody else. There are a bunch of different classes: Warlord, Commander, Defender, Veteran, Fighter, Ravager, Fighter, Champion, Warlord, Warmonger. So the fighters are damage dealers. They would be like the... what were they called? The red guys. The fighty in your facey Three Kingdoms. Champions? No, they're Vanguard. Sentinel is the other one I was thinking of. I think I said Vanguard by accident. I meant Sentinel. So Menelaus is more like a Sentinel. He tanks units. Then these guys would be like the Vanguard, who do damage either to enemy units or to enemy champions. The Vanquisher is just like an all-out attacker, so he would be more like the duelist, the green guys. Then we've got the champion. During both deadly charges and lengthy arduous siege situations. So I guess he's a bit more of a tanky fighter. Defender companion, he's going to be definitely more of a defensive person. He also has some command abilities, voice and counsel. Defender protector is just going to be an out and out tank. Warlords I think are like your field commanders. So Menelaus is somewhere between a warlord and a defender. And then lots of different classes for each. Now, do we have like multiple fighter vanquishers? No. Fighter Ravager and Fighter Vanquisher. So I'm guessing that this is actually basically one of each unit type. It should be noted, however, that we do not have access to archers. So each hero doesn't have access to one thing. Anyway, I just noticed the time and I need to end this here. So thank you very much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this.